everybody. Welcome back once again. Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset as we roll over to Memphis, Tennessee, and talk to the head coach of the Christian Brothers Purple Wave, head coach Thomas McDaniel. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Doing great, Stork. What about you?
I'm doing really good. First off, it's great to have you on the show. How are you doing just overall and everything that's going on in the McDaniel household?
Awesome. We have one more game before fall break, and then I'm going to be able to spend a couple days with my family, taking them. We're driving Saturday morning early to Chicago and going to do a Bears game on Sunday, going to hit some museums, going to go to a Broadway play. So, yeah, I'm blessed, man. Life's good.
Are we taking the camper, or are we rolling just in the car and got hotels?
No, just in the car, but we're staying. We've got a little hotel spot that we like downtown. So we're driving. It's about an 8-hour drive. We're driving Saturday morning and then going to the Bears game on Sunday, and like I said, hitting all the stuff up. So girls are excited.
You like Chicago?
Huh?
You like Chicago?
Are you talking about the city or the Bears?
No, just the city.
Man, I've only been once, but I think I've told you, I've been to New York a couple times now, to Manhattan. I would have never told you I was a big city guy, but I've been to Manhattan a couple times, was able to take my girls at Christmas 2 years ago. A couple years ago, I took my wife to Chicago for the first time, and we had already said we were going to come back and bring the girls. And, it's great in the fall. As I've gotten older, I've tried to catch as many kind of historical places as possible to go catch a game. So going to Soldier Field would be cool.
Yeah.
It gives my wife an excuse to buy some new game day gear. So they've got all kinds of new cute sweatshirts and headbands and whatnot. So, they're excited, fired up, going to Harry Potter Broadway show. So all that.
Oh, wow, man. And have we already been looking at Yelp at some places that we can dine at? I mean, that's probably my favorite activity.
Oh, yeah. No. We've already got, I know we're going to go to, we'll do, one of the sandwich places and obviously hot dogs and the Lou Malnati's or whatever. But I think, I don't know if we'll take the girls. We definitely going to hit up the Vets, I think, is the steakhouse that we went last time that we really liked. So we got some eateries lined up as well.
Well, great, and it'll be a great trip. I mean, like you say, there's a couple of them you'll want to see. DC, and it's different from Orlando trip or going to the beach. It's a different itinerary, so to speak.
Oh yeah, yep.
And I'm sure you'll have some fun. Well, Coach, I did want to talk to you. Christian Brothers Purple Wave setting at 3-2. You played Baylor 45-14 and took the loss. Man, I got a chance to see them on video. They look like a small college football team, no question. I mean, they are loaded, Coach. I mean, some nice guys that look really good in a set of shoulder pads.
Yeah. We scored right before halftime, make it 17-7. Took the opening drive of the second half, scored, made it 17-14. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, we really were in a great position. And we just gave up a couple of explosive plays. And I thought in the fourth quarter we lost a little bit of our zip, if you will. But, like I said, if you'd have told me it was going to be 17-14 with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, I'd have told you we would have taken that. So there was a lot to build off of, a lot for us to, improve on, obviously, but a lot that we were encouraged about. I thought we went and competed really hard for probably 40 minutes. Unfortunately, it's a 48-minute game, and I thought we lost a little bit of our edge late. But, again, it was a learning experience, and came back, got better last week, played on Thursday night against Fayetteware. With all the rain stuff, we kicked our homecoming to Thursday because of the weather. Because, as I told you earlier this year, we already lost one game because of bad weather. And so we played on Thursday. I think it was 41 to nothing maybe. But yeah, played well. Got a lot of stuff we got to continue to work on, and got some injuries that we got to deal with. But the meat of our season really begins this week with our 4 region opponents ahead of the calendar. So Briarcrest is going to be a tough opponent for us, and we'll have to play very well to have a chance to get that first region win.
And play it out for everybody, because you lost a game earlier in the season. You didn't lose it, but you lost it because it became no contest, which now
it became a no contest.
Yeah, but you end up on that other end. It leaves you with the less games. But take us through it. After you come back from fall break, what is your bang, 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 the 3 games you got?
Yeah, so we had Briarcrest fall break, and then MUS, Father Ryan, and Ensworth. So all those are region games, and then obviously you got playoff implications and seeding and all that stuff that goes along with that. But what we need to do is worry about Friday night. We're again, we've got some injuries that we've got to deal with, and we've got to adapt, improvise, and overcome. We've had a couple things happen that could make you want to sit back and have a pity party and complain, and I'm just not going to do that. Like, there's different ways to respond, and I could not tell you, but it is what it is at this point. We lost our quarterback late in the game Friday to an injury, tore his ACL on a non-contact play, and I hate it for our team, hate it for our kids. I hate it for me because I've enjoyed so much coaching. Our quarterback Cole Frazier's just had a heck of a year, 77% completion percentage, like 125 QBR, super efficient with the football. Doesn't look like a quarterback, wears number 40, just everything you wouldn't think of as a quarterback, but he has just played outstanding and had a hell of a season, and he goes down on a non-contact play. And it was pretty devastating. Again, I'm not going to lie, sitting on the sideline near the end of the game, it was definitely disheartening for me, but as the leader, you got to, you can't really show that. And it was obvious after the game that, we just won our homecoming game 41-0, getting ready for our first region opponent. And I could tell that it felt like a funeral. And, and part of my job is to psychologically get people to, believe. And so, our quarterbacks that we've brought into the fold this week have done a good job of responding, and getting them comfortable has been part of the, transition. And again, like I told all the guys on Friday at school, we have, all of us have personal responsibility. When somebody goes down, it's the next man up, but it's also our responsibility to, lift them up, if you will. So everybody's got to raise their game a little bit. I feel, we're not going to reinvent the wheel. We're not going to change what we do. We're not going to try to do, let's go to this wildcat formation or whatever.
Right.
We are what we are. We are who we are. We've got a lot of good pieces. We got a lot of guys that believe in what we do. We just, we've just got to deal with a couple different bumps and bruises, and that's part of it. And like I said, more than anything, I hate it for the kid, but yeah, it's a big loss for our football team, and it's something that we're going to have to deal with.
We have no idea how God deals the cards. He's the one that controls the deck, and at that point and everything, and you juggle it very well, Coach. You look at it, you're very disheartened, but at the same time, I've got this big, huge team over here. We got to do something with you guys, and I can't, so as you say, next man up, and then, you got to tell the line and all the other guys, as well as offense, defense, receivers, everybody, no, it's not the guy that was back there last week, but it's up to you now to support him as we go through the process, and you got to help him be comfortable with you and with those other 10 players. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, no doubt. And you talk about, like, you do have to be, like, the coach talk, which we all get guilty of. I probably don't. People probably find this hard to believe. I don't talk about a lot of the stuff with the kids because nobody wants to sit in the huddle after practice for 30 minutes while I lecture to them. Like, when I talk to them, I want it to be meaningful, direct, and to the point. And now that's not to say that they don't understand what our standards are, what my expectations are, and what, how I'm going to operate our program. I think all our boys know that. But ultimately, you can't be a coach and say control what you can control, and then when something bad happens, you be the biggest powder in the room, and oh, woe is me, and the sky's falling. Like, this happened. Does it suck? Absolutely. Now put your big boy pants on and let's figure it out. Part of my job is to make sure I get all the guys believing that, which I think we do. And part of my job is making our quarterbacks comfortable with things that maybe they weren't comfortable with. If it's something that's not in their wheelhouse, get it out, and let's give them the best opportunity to be successful, manage the game in the best way possible for us. And, if it's got to be ugly, make it ugly. So at the end of the day, you can, people say, oh, you run the ball or you throw the ball. Or what. Your offensive identity is really based around who your people are, what gives you the best chance to be successful. And so every year for us looks a little bit different. And, it'll look a little bit different now that we have a different quarterback. But at the end of the day, there's fundamental things that we got to fall back on. And, hopefully we've done a good job of teaching blocking, tackling, ball security, understanding schemes, and giving ourselves a chance to be successful in situational football scenarios, which is a way bigger part of it than most people ever talk about. But, football for the most part is situational. And so, like I said, lot to be determined, but excited about Friday, and it's a great challenge for our guys to get to go over to Briarcrest, play in front of a great atmosphere, I think. And, these are the games that you do all the work for. It means something, be a big stage, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
And, for those that don't understand, Briarcrest being located there in Memphis and a long-standing rivalry, tradition game that you all have had going on. How many years has Christian Brothers and Briarcrest been playing each other? It's probably one of the
No, yeah, I don't know Briarcrest, historically, it's not been around nearly as long as us at MUS.
Right.
MUS and us have been playing since, I think, 1896, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, so, we've been playing football since 1894, but I think our first year playing MUS was 1896. Briarcrest is not, it's not nearly as old as that game, but it's a close, as far as location goes, it's close school to us. A lot of crossover. We're such a unique school that we have kids from all over the area. So, it's very typical for you to have a kid that went to Briarcrest in elementary school or middle school, or girlfriend goes to Briarcrest, so our boys just know people from everywhere. But and obviously they're a big rival in basketball and baseball as well. So, it's always been a very, exciting game for both schools. A lot of pride. Both, every time we compete in all the major sports, it's a big deal. And again, great atmosphere. So it's going to be fun, and that's what it's all about.
It's a backyard ball, or one of them, or Oakland Blackman. It's not the Battle of the Borough. The Battle of the Borough is you and MUS. That's your Battle of the Borough, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But again, they're definitely super competitive. They've basketball, baseball, football. They're always going to be very competitive. But our number one rival is MUS for sure.
Yeah. And hadn't a lot of you, speaking of baseball, hadn't they sent some kids to the MLB out of Briarcrest, and there been some kids make it to the big time from Briarcrest, or am I dreaming that?
Oh yeah, no, I think so. I don't act like I'm a baseball aficionado.
No.
I'm not going to pretend to. But they beat us this past year in a I want to say it was 11-12 inning. It was a long game. They beat us at MTSU, at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning or something.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're, like I said, they're very successful in basketball, successful in football, successful in baseball. It's a great school. You know, it's a great location, a beautiful campus, K through 12. I mean, it's a big private school when you think about, you know, a whole campus community. It's very rare to have such a big K through 12 school. So they got a lot of great things going for them. But anyway, it'll be fun to go over there and play. It'll be a little bit weird because they're one of the few places that still has natural grass, and you know, we're not talking about Innsworth natural grass. We're talking about like legitimate, just kind of regular natural grass.
Smyrna grass, old Smyrna Oakland grass. The grass used to smell when you know.
Yeah, because you've seen Innsworth, like that's a little bit different.
Oh, that's over the top of them pulling the cover out and turning on the heaters to make sure that it stays right at about 78 degrees, and the Bermuda's getting tickled at night. Yeah, they take care of that baby.
But I will tell you, there's not a great way for us to address it, but like there's always been a little. I mean, again, it's something you can't control, but we've always talked about, you know, their field's got a little bit more of a crowd than what you would typically see on a field, which I know can sound a little bit petty, but can impact the game a little bit because the quarterback throws and stuff. I mean, there's a crowd on the field, and the ball bounces a little different on kick, plant foot, all that stuff. It's just more traditional, like what you would consider a high school field. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful field. They do a great job with it, but Innsworth is like playing, you know, as you know, playing at the Titan Stadium. So anyway, that's just another thing we got to factor in. But again, not important. At the end of the day, we got to go play well, got to get lined up, got to communicate, and we got to execute our plan.
Well, you know, at least it's not Maryville where you're on that side of the field and it's turf, and then they've got it slanted at about a 45-degree angle, and your ankles are because that's where they're throwing the water as it comes off. So it starts the gradual slope. If you can remember when you were running the sideline there, it slopes off real quick at Maryville. You don't have much really level when you step out of bounds because your area to work with, it's uneven on the backside of that turf that they installed.
And it's funny, like we had a JV game this week at Munford High School, and their turf literally butts up into the like the corners of the track. Like literally, if you were to catch a ball in the end zone by the pylon, you'd be running onto the track.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's funny, you know, how the different high school fields have their own little quirky elements to it that people don't realize.
Yeah, until you get down there and you walk around or you run sidelines or whatever you may do. Coach, I can't thank you enough for joining us on Inside the Headset. Have a wonderful trip to we're going to be off next week. No Inside the Headset. I'm off. Yeah, I'm going to – I'm actually – so my family owns about 300 acres in eastern Kentucky up around the Natural Bridge area. So next Friday night, Judy and I, we're taking a side-by-side, and we're meeting another couple. We've got an Airbnb, and we're actually going over and going to go check on our property. And my great-great-grandfather, John Calvin Smith, who died in the 1800s, is buried on the property. So it's a pretty cool place. It's in our family, and I don't know, it don't mean anything.
Oh, that sounds incredible. You need to get you a little Bluetooth speaker and play some Tyler Childers, it sounds like to me.
Well, you know, it's so funny you mentioned that. I just now picked up a cell site in Harlan County, and I've got to go to Harlan. I'm going to Harlan, but I did pick up one near a distillery. I can't say which one, but I got one near a distillery. So I'm looking pretty hot. Actually, I'm going to Bowling Green, Kentucky in the morning. I got a site walk at 8:30 to pin one down. So I'm busy. I'm trying to throw some steel in the air.
I hear you.
All righty, Coach. Have a good one.
Have a good break, and I appreciate you, brother.
All right, we love you, Coach. Take care. Goodbye.
All right, see you, brother.